Lego is sometimes described as the ultimate toy. It helps develop hand-eye coordination, spatial awareness, problem-solving skills, fosters creativity. Kids love Lego, and short of losing the pieces, what can go wrong? They don't break. So it's a brand targeted at kids, right? Well, not so much on Instagram. Lego knows it's the parents buying those Legos, so much of their marketing is aimed at you and me. On Instagram recently, Lego published a story celebrating another brand, Harley Davidson. They showed a Lego replica of a motorcycle and included a quiz that asked, how many Lego elements are in this life-sized Harley? This is a perfect example of how a brand can adjust its content for a specific social media platform. Increasingly, Instagram is becoming a powerful tool for brands. 2 billion people use Insta every month. 63% of US users across the platform daily. 97% use it monthly. Holy eyeballs, Batman. Can you say visual storytelling? But those algorithms are always changing, and we know overall engagement is dropping steadily on every social media channel. Today, on Stories and Strategies, Reels, Carousels, Stories, what's the jam on Instagram? My name is Doug Downs. A couple of thank yous off the top today. First off, I want to thank Annie, who left a comment for us on Spotify. Spotify's great. You can leave comments on any episode. Annie left a comment on our episode, Embracing AI as a Stakeholder. She says, awesome, insightful. Thank you. Thank you, Annie. Also want to thank Evie Walper, who left us a 5-star rating on Podchaser. And this comment, great resource for all things PR and marketing. It's she says Doug is knowledgeable of the industry, and the diverse set of guests that they have on the show makes it informative and engaging. Evie, thank you so much for that. My guest this week is Adina Jipa, joining today from Bucharest in Romania. Hello, Adina.
Hi, Doug.
How are things? It's morning for me out here in the Western world, but how are things for you in Romania in the afternoon? Is it warm these days, or how are you?
Yeah, so it's summer, it's hot, and we're enjoying the sun. I can't wait to go to the countryside in weekends with my kid.
Oh, it sounds beautiful. Adina, you're the founder and CMO of Social Insider. You've also worked with Bitdefender as a product marketing manager and have been in marketing for 15 years. So Instagram, as the US looks more and more likely to ban TikTok, probably sometime in 2025, this thing might drag out. I don't know. It could be a change of presidency. I have no idea. Instagram is becoming more and more interesting to me. I always sort of had it on the radar screen, but now I'm starting to focus on Instagram. And Social Insider published the 2024 Instagram benchmarks, and the top trend is that Reels is number one. I know what I want to get to is my first question. I want to ask you, how do Reels compare to carousels, posts, and stories? But let's first go through the methodology quickly and then tell me why Reels is number one.
So we analyzed up to 21 million Instagram posts from January 23 to March 24. And we got the data from a lot of business pages with different followers rate. And what we noticed is that the Reels are the most performing content type in terms of engagement, in terms of saves, impressions. It was interesting to see that this type of content got a lot of usage compared with single images or carousels, and it was in the data in the report that you mentioned, you can see that brands started to use with 40% more reels compared with single image compared with the previous year. So it seems that there is a mix that brands started to use more and more this type of content, but also the platform rewards this type of content in terms of how people engage, in terms how people save this content.
We like to scroll up, and we're less likely to swipe right or swipe left. That's kind of it.
Yeah. And the push that is coming from TikTok, where brands started to build a brand community on TikTok, they already have the content. So what they can do with that content they already produce. So Reels is a similar. Instagram actually with Reels is a similar platform with TikTok. It's a similar platform with YouTube Shorts. So once you have this type of content for a platform, you can repurpose on 2 other platforms. Okay, you can, of course, you have to remove some watermarks, or if you use it with specific TikTok tools, or make sure that it's platform specific in terms of captions, SEO, and stuff like that. But it's important to not publish the content only in one single platform, and distribute on other platforms that accept this type of content.
I think Facebook Stories takes that tall format as well. So there's another channel that you can use.
Yeah, Facebook Stories, Facebook Reels. So I see a lot of Reels on my Facebook feed, so you can use it as well.
So if I'm a marketing manager or a small business owner as I am with a brand, should I be focusing entirely on Reels then for my Instagram content, or should I spread it out in different formats on Instagram?
It's important to have a content mix. So not focusing only on creating Reels, but because some content pillars, for example, cannot be addressed through Reels. For example, if you do some research, or if you do some interviews where you get in-depth data, in-depth insights, it's better to use carousels, which is the second best type of content on Instagram. So it's important to use a mix of content, to mix Reels with carousels and with single image, but to have a consistency in your planning, in your weekly planning, or in your monthly planning. So don't publish one Reel per week, and don't publish one Reel per month and then forget and create another Reel next month. No, keep it have a consistent calendar with creating Reels, but also use other content formats like carousels to to reach your goals on Instagram, basically.
And where, just because the pecking order there, Reels and then carousels, where does stories and posts, those are the other 2 formats that I know of. I suppose you can go live as well, but where do stories and posts fit in there?
So what I noticed is that Reels is the primary content type, then carousels is the second. After that comes single images and stories. Stories is it's quite different because it shows behind the scenes content most of the time for brands. So if I record an Instagram Reels, then I put on in stories the behind the scenes, how I did it, how I collaborate with someone from my team to create that Reel. So focus on behind the scenes content on stories, and show the real story on the Reel and the real content on the Reels.
Okay. How do we maximize what we're doing with Reels? You mentioned you can't just post once a month or even really once a week and expect to build any sort of habit or sufficient awareness and adoption of your brand. How do I maximize Reels to the best extent I can?
I can tell you from what we do at Social Insider, for example. The first step is to understand your audience. So I know this is a basic advice that you can get once you scroll on Instagram, on internet, but I think it's the most important, because we actually did a survey on our user base of social media, email, that the database that we have. So we actually asked our people what they want to see, why they want to follow a brand like Social Insider on Instagram. And we find out that they don't want to see trends. So they got content saturation with those type of videos, trending videos that you already see on other business pages. So they want to see authentic content. They want to see how we operate. They want to see behind the scenes content instead of trending videos that they already saw on Instagram.
Like memes. They don't want to see
like memes.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. So this is what we discover for our audience. So I know that this label of understanding your audience doesn't mean or just means a little bit for you, just getting to know their age group or gender group or stuff like that. But go deeper, find their behavior, find their wants, how they want to see you on Instagram, how they want to interact with you on Instagram. So for us was, wow, okay, so now let's cut all the video trending that we have in our plan and let's create videos how we do podcast with Doug, how we answer to specific questions to our clients. And this is the content that we want to promote on our business page right now.
And I got that, understand the audience, and that opens up a whole, that it's complicated and it's not. The simple form is what's getting the most likes, what's getting the most engagement. That's the simple form of understanding your audience. But you can go down to through a complete labyrinth of understanding of your audience, right down to the, do you know them in a way that they don't know themselves? But let's just skip that part. How long in general should my reels be? I try to target 15 seconds or less. Admittedly, sometimes what I have to say is so smart and so intelligent, I feel I have to go 30 seconds to get it out. But how long should a reel be?
It depending, again, from what people want to get from you. So, right. Of course, you have to use a hook in the first 3 seconds to capture their attention. But after that, it depends on you how much you can keep them to watch you till the end. So if it's something relatable, if it's something authentic, if it's something that describes a pain that your audience has, I think, okay, you shouldn't create 3 minutes, up to 3 minutes, but you can test and see if 50 seconds or less than 50 seconds, what works for you, for your audience. So everything starts with what would your audience want to see on your Instagram account, and then how you create that type of content and tailor that type of content for your audience.
And remember, they're scrolling. They're mindlessly scrolling through their phone at the time. That 3-second hook that you just talked to, and it might be tighter. I had a reel. I was cleaning up in the backyard, Adina, and I noticed a bunny in my neighbor's yard. And we don't have a fence there. Mm-hmm. And I had my phone in my back pocket, and swear to God, this is true. I pulled out my phone, didn't shoot the bunny. I took a video shot of the bunny, stepped in front of the camera and said something to the effect of, in your podcast, you need to have a hook or a carrot that leads your listener to where you want to go. But the hook there was the shot of the bunny. And this one didn't go through the roof for us, but it was definitely one of our stronger posts. Why is that 3-second, again, I did not shoot the bunny. Why is that 3-second hook so important? Why not 4 seconds? Why not 2 seconds? Why is it in that 3-second zone?
It comes with the way we consume news and media. It comes with the way we consume internet these days. So basically, our behavior has changed through the years. So we want, if you cannot capture my attention in under 3 seconds, okay, I will forget about you and scroll to another reel or another image or another type of content on social media. So it seems that we change a lot as consumers, as internet consumers. So we have to adapt the content to this way of do things as consumers.
Meta now has threads as well. How is that changing Instagram Reel engagement?
Meta was launched in 2023. So when there was the Threads launch, there was a spike in engagement for Reels. So I think they got the best engagement rate in that period. But after that, you can see that the trend line is decreasing. So right now, the engagement on the Reels is the engagement on the Reels has decreased by 20% year over year. So it was great for keeping people in the platform at the beginning, but now I think people don't want to go to Threads and then switch and get back to Reels. So maybe they see an in-feed post from Threads, they touch that, they tap on that post, they go to Threads, but after that they don't come back to Instagram and scroll again. So I think the intention that so Threads was launched with the intention of replacing X, Twitter. So the intention was to create a conversational platform, but didn't succeed at keeping people in the platform, gaining new people in this platform. So I think it's great for brand visibility and to get sort of feedback if you're planning to launch something or you already have a product. But in terms of what happens after people reading your, in terms of what happens with Instagram engagement overall, I think the impact is negative. So you don't see people coming back from Threads to Instagram again and scrolling again and commenting and replying to Instagram Reels and so on. So the initial intention of creating a platform where people and brands can communicate, I think, wasn't reached so far.
Just real quick, are you bullish or bearish on Threads overall? Do you see this thing taking off? Or as some, I've been convinced in conversations from some, oh, yes, it's in its beginning stage. Get in on it now. Take advantage of it now. Or do you see this as, look, it is really hard to crack people's habits?
It's really hard to crack people's habits. And I think it's similar with what you asked me before. We need 3 seconds to capture attention to our users, to our consumers. So if you change the I am in one platform, which is Instagram. I'm scrolling through Instagram, so I'm seeing some content, and then you change my behavior and push me to Threads, and if you expect me to get back to Instagram, I think this is a broken journey. So I don't think it would going to have a massive increase in usage or monthly active users. So these are my thoughts on Threads.
Social media engagement overall. And I get the most engagement on TikTok. I don't have a lot of followers on TikTok. I have a small audience. But every time I go into TikTok, I've got new comments or new likes. Very engaging social media app. In my experience, it's the one that promotes the most engagement.
Yeah.
But engagement across all channels is in decline. And this isn't new. It's been in decline for several years now. Another 20% just last year. But we're on social media 2.5 hours a day, Adina.
Yeah.
Are we just becoming mindless drooling zombies that are scrolling through things? Or what's your take on that?
Or maybe we prefer to stay in smaller communities, in groups, where you can share where you can share the pains that you have, where you can discuss, where you can get
with people just like me, my people,
like,
yes.
My people, right. So we were forced to connect with a lot of people on Instagram, on Facebook, and now we want to stay in smaller communities. We want to be with my people.
So then to that is a brand strategy to try to create a community of some kind. You can do that through Facebook pages. There are all kinds of ways to do that.
Yeah.
Is that the modern social media strategies to ultimately funnel people into a community so they can feel like everyone's just like me?
Yeah. I think right now with the attention span that we have, smaller communities can be a winning strategy for brands. It doesn't matter the brand size. So if you succeed at connecting people, if you succeed at getting a common ground, even if we're talking about a challenge, a pain, a hobby or stuff like that, if you succeed at bringing all people together for that common ground, and you create that common ground for your people, start collecting them in a small community, in a community.
So the riches are in the niches.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time today, Adina. I really appreciate this. Fascinating.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
If you'd like to send a message to my guest, Adina Jipa, we have her contact information in the show notes. Check out Social Insider too. I subscribe and follow it on a regular basis. Stories and Strategies is a co-production of JGR Communications and Stories and Strategies podcasts. Our producer is Emily Page. If you like this episode, please leave a rating, possibly a review. We're also on YouTube and YouTube Music. And lastly, do us a favor, forward this episode to one friend in your community. Thanks for listening.